And we're live. Okay. My hair is playing with me today, as is Substack. I scheduled this live and then I tried to go live and I don't know. I don't like starting late. I start on time. So I apologize that it got a little bit delayed, but you know, um technical difficulties. I'm gonna try to put my AirPods in because that helps with the audio. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the chat where you are from. I'm based here in Chicago, if you guys didn't know. Um, and it is a lovely fall day. I'm enjoying the weather until it gets cold and I go into hibernation. But I have been doing these Substack live series just to get out of the habit of of writing, into the abyss, but to really take one step outside of the things that I like to write about, which is culture and branding and marketing and self help and personal development, things like that, and really peel the lens on like what it actually takes to get paid as a creator. I think a lot of people coming to Substack are here, one, to share your gift and your talent, but also you want subscribers, you want people to tune in, you want to build a community and things like that. And I have been saying I've been doing this for 9 years. That's a lie. According to LinkedIn, I've been doing this 10 years and 3 months. So congrats to me for a decade of, I guess they would call it content creation now, but that's not what I call it. Just, being a creative. And so I've done like a couple of these different lives. I'll figure out how to post the whole thing, but I've been posting clips. But today I wanted to talk about, since I talked about last time, which was not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I talked about creating authentic content, right? Without like trying to copy other people. And then I talked about like how to really tell your story. And I want to talk about how do we get from the content to the cash. Because, I took it upon myself. I realized that I had like this huge influx of new followers and hadn't been talking to people. So I reached out to a lot of people and I realized that um, what people want, right, is for somebody to just see them and feel what you're putting out into the world, whether that's you writing or you creating some kind of art or whatever, right? And you want to feel like what you're making is valid. Let me start off by telling you that it is, and then also that, it's valid and it's valuable. What I see a lot of creatives doing is they immediately devalue their work. Okay. I see Substack posts, and I'm gonna keep it to Substack, although like I'm very present on other social medias, right? A lot of people get on Substack and say, "Oh, I'm creating my art. Nobody's gonna follow me, or nobody's following me, or I only have 5 subscribers. I'm just writing to myself. I'm writing to no one. Read my Substack post if you want, if you can, maybe if you like it. No pressure, right? You're like sending out into the world. Like if you're not excited about it, you don't think it's worth my time. I'm not going to override your opinion, right? Because it's your work. If you're posting art and you're like, and I see this all the time too, especially people that do like visual art, I will just say art in general. They're making music, they paint, right? And they will post their song 100 times on, on Facebook, or they'll post their new painting in their stories every day on Instagram. They're like, nobody's buying my art. Did you ask? Did you say it was for sale? You'll be like, oh, this new song, check it out if you want. Oh, if anybody wants to hear my new song. No, you gotta present things in a certain way. And I think the biggest gap between creators or creatives making content and getting paid for content is the ask, right? You don't ask. Um, I have this book. I'm not gonna turn around because this room is a little messy. But I have this book. I started my entire career. I should have said that because my first. No, let me say that. My career, the first time I got paid to do something, it was a sales job, right? I was selling candy. Now, I know what you think, "Oh, yeah, it was a school fundraiser." No. My parents was like, "Hey, we got this box of candy. You need to go door to door and sell it because we need to make some money." And I did, right? What you learn in sales is that people don't want to buy anything. They don't. Nobody wants to buy anything. People want stuff, but they don't wanna buy it, whether or not they wanna spend their own money on it, they feel like they could get it cheaper, right? People don't want to buy, so you have to give people a reason to buy. If I knocked on your door right now for somebody, because I don't know where y'all live, because 'cause y'all didn't tell me in the chat. If somebody knocked on your door right now and said, "Hey, I'm selling" insert something that you actually like, whether it's a chocolate bar, your favorite ice cream, an Italian ice, which this was the last week of them selling Italian ice in Chicago until the spring. Whatever it is, somebody knocks on your door with that thing that you know that you like, but you already have some, right? Or maybe you just had it yesterday, right? Is that person like, how inclined are you to buy that? Even though you like the thing, you're like, it might be on sale. Maybe it was $5 at the grocery store. They're selling it to you for $3. Hey, person, I have this chocolate bar. They say, I'm selling chocolate. And you're like, okay, cool. Right. And now it's the awkward stare down. Yep. We got peanut butter. We got milk chocolate. We got dark chocolate. We got crunch bar. I'm selling them. They're $3 each. Right. And I'm staring at you because you never asked me if I wanted to buy some. Right? And so people are creating. You post on Substack, and some of you are not posting enough, right? I talked on Threads today, and I'll re-share it on Substack to say, like, you know, marketing is really repetition. You have one thing that you're going to say over and over again. Like, think of your marketing as like a commercial, right? I don't know how many times I have watched commercials, so much so that, like, I'm in the gym or I'm taking my dog for a walk and I'm humming some song from a commercial that I heard, right? Because it's played over and over again, right? Um, so if you're trying to attract people to whatever it is you're doing, you gotta play it over and over again, right? Like, I post when I make a Substack post, I post it, it goes on that initial post, you get that email. I post it again in my notes. I post it again in notes again. I'll post a quote from it in my notes. I'll send out the email again. I'll resend it to people who didn't open the first email, right? So I'm doing it multiple times. In fact, in marketing, okay, they used to say that people needed 12 quality interactions with your brand in order for you to get noticed. It is now 12. Why? Because things move at a quicker pace and, people are scrolling. I'm scrolling through Substack, looking at the notes. Do, 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 do. Okay. Right. My son says this all the time. I'll watch like 100 YouTube videos. He's like, but you didn't like any of them. I'm like, but I liked them. He's like, well, you didn't like any of them. You're not subscribing to these people. I was like, oh, because I could just search for what I wanted. He's like, why don't you subscribe? I don't know. I just don't. Right. I started watching this series on YouTube. This person a whole year went by before I subscribed or liked the video. Why? I don't know. It's just like that. So you have to keep kind of putting yourself out there if you want to get noticed, right? And then you have to make the ask. You can't be afraid. You have to really guide people to what you want them to do. Do you want people to subscribe or do you want them to follow? There's a difference on Substack, right? If somebody is subscribed, they get all of your notifications. If somebody is following, they just get your notes. Are you only making posts that your subscribers can see? Or are you making posts that get seen on notes as well? Are you interacting with other people? Right? Now, I used to think this was kind of like an asshole move, but it actually makes a lot of sense. And I call it, the soldier boy way of marketing. Now, if you don't know who Soldier Boy is, maybe you're younger or older than me, and that's fine. He's a staple in my millennial life. Soldier Boy does not make the best music. Okay, that's a secret. Don't tell him I said that, but he doesn't make the best music. But He is one of the has been one of the highest chart topping rappers kind of all time. He made a lot of money really quickly in the 2000s because of his marketing tactics. Now, I say it's an asshole move because it can seem a little spammy. But what he used to do is he went on YouTube and he would say he would go to other pages that were popular or any other pages. And you would have the YouTube songs, let's say Mariah Carey, um, you know, posted why can't I think of Mariah Carey said, "Mariah Carey, we belong together." And Mariah Carey would have that song, it would be on her page, and a bunch of people go on there would be in comments, "Oh my god, I love this song." And he would reply, "Oh, if you love that song, right? How about you listen to my song, Soldier Boy Tell 'Em?" And he would go through every comment and tag that. Now, social media has gotten savvy over the years in that I learned this today. There's a limit to how many comments you can make a day from your page in a certain amount of time. Right? So people can't necessarily do that now, but as somebody who, Soldier Boy back in 2005, who was 15 or 16, who had nothing to do all day, right? He, decided to forego playing video games and being on the sports team, all that. And I'm going to spend my 4 or 5 hours after school just commenting for people to like my video, right? If I do that 100 times, and if you are on my subscriber list, you got my email while I'm talking about doing the math. If I do that 100 times and at least 10 people click on it, I'm going to reply to 100 comments on Mariah Carey's video and 100 comments on Beyonce's video and 100 comments on 50 Cent's video and 100 comments on Taylor Swift's video. If 10 people from all of those go, eventually I'm going to have 100 people watching my video. Makes sense, right? So keep in mind this is social media. The algorithm, and I always say algorithm, I don't know what the hell that means, but the algorithm rewards people who interact. So, that old saying that if you want to have friends, you got to show yourself friendly. I want people to subscribe to me. Hell, I'm going to go and subscribe to other people. Not randomly. I'm going to actually subscribe to things that I like. I'm going to subscribe to things that I actually want to read because Substack is going to send me hella emails. So when I get the email, I want to be excited to say, yes, I would like to read this post by the Oracle portal. Oh my gosh, she did another tarot spread. I can't believe it. Right? I want to read this, so I'm going to subscribe to it. I'm going to engage with those people. I'm going to figure out the type of person that I want reading my Substack, and I'm going to go and engage with them. When somebody comments on my Substack, I'm going to engage with them. In fact, when I post my Substack, I'm going to tell people, comment and let me know what you think. Reply to my email. Like this. Share your favorite quote with somebody. I'm telling people what I want them to do, and then I'm doing the things that I'm asking them to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to share that quote. Right? I say, hey, share your favorite quote. I'm going to share my favorite quote from my post in my notes. Right? Because now that increases the chance of people seeing it. Right? When you're first starting out, your primary goal should not be to get subscribers, is to get visibility. Right? You need more people seeing your stuff so that the right people can see your stuff. Okay? Very simple marketing, right? There are things, I said on my threads today, when you're first starting out in business or you're starting out as a creative or content creator, you're going to do a lot of things that's not sustainable, right? You're going to comment a lot. You're going to post a lot because you're trying to get traction and momentum. I started posting out. I made my Threads account. Whenever Threads first came out, I made my account. And then they were like, you can't ever unmake this account. And it was like all the restrictions. I was like, okay, that's weird. I don't know how to do this thing. And then 10 days ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to start posting on Threads. I'm going to do some hot takes. I'm going to do my thoughts. I'm going to really focus in now, just marketing. And I only want to talk to creatives. And I'm having that mindset of like, I'm having a text conversation with one person and I'm going to post on Threads. And I probably posted maybe like anywhere from 12 to 30 posts a day for the last 10 days on Threads. And so I went from having 0 followers. Actually, no, I had 1 follower when I started. I don't know, somebody. It was 1 person. I now have over 630 followers. I went from having 0 views to having 35,000 views, right? This is in 10 days. Now, Am I, for the rest of my life, going to make 30 posts a day on Threads? Probably not. But because I have that level of visibility, now, right, I got those 35K views in 10 days. That puts me, right, in a different algorithm bracket, right? How, what I do know about algorithms is that the more you engage and the more people engage with you, the more you get engagement, right? So now that I'm going from that 0 to 35 real quick, I'm probably going to double that probably in the next couple of days because the algorithm is going to show my posts to more people, right? So your primary goal should really be visibility in the beginning, right? So that more people can see your stuff. The more people can say, yes, this is for me. And you start to kind of niche down in terms of who wants what you're actually providing, right? As long as you, as long as you are clear about what you're putting out into the world, then the right people will start to kind of attract themselves to you, right? When you make a Substack, it asks you kind of what category you want to be in. Maybe you were like, oh, I want to be in art, but you're really in business, or I want to be here, or I want to be there, right? Like whatever you want to do, you can always go back and change your category to make sure that you are kind of in the right bracket because the Substack algorithm works a little different. It's going to first show your post to your subscribers and then to people who have selected that they want to see arts and culture, politics, business, blah, 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 etc. The other platforms don't work like that. It strictly goes off of engagement, right? So if we're talking about building systems, what I would say is you have to start doing those things, right? You're going to do a lot of stuff that doesn't seem connected until you figure out what system works and what system is driving for you. It makes no sense. And I hate when people do this. Like, I just want to give you a hug because people will tell you, oh, start a business, go out and get your LLC, create a website, start doing this. You got to get a CRM platform and you start paying for all these different things and then you don't move forward or you realize, okay, I'm paying for this, I actually don't need that. So create the content. In my other lives, I talked about how to create the content. We should not be, it's 2025, we should not be stuck on what to post. I just need you to post it. You need you to post it. I don't need you to post it. You need you to post it, right? You're going to post the stuff. You're going to post a lot. Okay. One time a day is not a lot. 3 times a day is not a lot. Okay. You are like overdoing it, like to the point of like, I feel like I'm just annoying people. Please do the one thing, the one thing that I have learned about sales, and this is true, this is inherent, right? I got this job. I want to say it was the summer before senior year, but it might have been the summer after senior year. I had 2 jobs at the same time, right? So I was like, I transitioned from that teenager that was like babysitting to like, okay, I started selling knives through Cutco, right? First real job, paycheck job, direct deposit job. First direct deposit job uh, was working for Vector Marketing, which was the company that helped to do network. It was a network marketing company that taught young people how to go door to door and sell knives. Everything they told me to do, I did. I read the script. I was in the meeting like with the script like this. Thank you so much for being here today. Right. Because they tell you I was everything and I made good money. Right. One thing they tell you about sales, you have permission until you don't have permission. Right. If you're walking in the mall and those kiosk people, they're like, hey, let me, you know, can I show you how this thing works? And you say yes and you come over, I have permission until you say stop. The moment you say no, the moment you say stop emailing me and they unsubscribe from you, they block you, whatever, then that's when I stop. But I will follow up, right? Until I book that appointment. I will follow up until I do this. So people who work in sales are very used to rejection, right? Like today, I said yesterday, like, hey, I'm just gonna start DMing everybody um, that follows me. because I'm looking at my open rate and I'm like, I have all these people subscribe, and it's like the number of people that's engaging with me is not really engaging. I know they on Substack. I know they get these emails. Let me just pop in the DM, right? I'm messaging people. I'm messaging people. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, thank you for subscribing. Hey, would you be interested in this? And they're like, yeah, sure, send it to me. I had one person say no. Bet we don't have to ever talk again. And I'm not going to follow up with that person, right? So as you're posting, you may think you're being annoying, right? And people may have never seen your post. I'm like, yeah, who's on here? Renee, are you still here? Renee will tell you, I'm very much open book. I post a lot on all of my socials, and I tell a lot of my business. And I have people still saying, "Oh, I didn't know." Like people, I have been in Chicago almost 5 years. People are like, you live in Chicago? I had no idea. Are, are you paying attention? Right? How many times I post about living in Chicago or this in Chicago, or I might put the location Chicago or downtown Chicago, like all the time. And there are people, I didn't know you live in Chicago, who follow me, who like some of my posts, right? So you might think, oh my God, I'm posting so much. People are going to be so annoyed. If they don't like it, they'll unsubscribe, they'll unfollow, right? People, I mean, it's the internet. People don't really stick around unless like it's a family member or something. They're not going to stick around if you're doing stuff they don't like. And you have to realize most people, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are on the internet most of the day, but most people aren't necessarily seeing your posts all day, every day. So it's not annoying, right? You are doing your job. Again, your content is a commercial. How many times have you seen the same commercial over and over again? You may have switched channels. You turned off TV, went to work, came back home. Now you see that same commercial, right? They don't ever say, she probably seen this already today. I'm not gonna post it again. Post it again, right? You have to start thinking about yourself as a brand, right? That's what creatives don't do. So many creatives are like, I just want to do my art, okay? Unless you have someone, and sometimes you have someone, unless you have somebody who actually manages you, who is going to manage all of the other parts of it. If you wanna make money from your art, whatever that is, from your art, from your speaking, from your, um, whatever, right? You're gonna have to manage that. So you gotta create the content and put it out there, and then once you put it out there, now you have some data. Now you can say, "Hey, I posted 18 days in a row, I posted notes, and nobody saw my notes." Or my short notes got the most engagement. Notes that had a photo with it got the most engagement. Posts that were video posts didn't do well, but my text posts were amazing. These topics were amazing. And you got to start thinking strategically and put all that stuff in a little box, right? If you are a type A personality, you are a logical person, you are non neurodivergent, and you want to make you a little Excel spreadsheet or a chart that's actually tracking all this stuff, do it, right? If you are the type of person that's like, I don't like, I'm not very detailed, then make your buckets bigger. There are some people who are going to track analytics like, I want to track every like, every share, every view, every blah, blah, blah. What's most important to you? Do you want people to see it? Do you want them to take action on it? Or do you care what they think about it? Right? If we're going back to what I think your goal should be, which is to just get visibility, you want to see how many people have seen it. But you set your own goal, right? So you don't have to be as detailed. You can just say, you know, this is what I noticed. These are the types of posts that I did. This is what got the most views, likes, shares, blah, blah, blah. And now you know, okay, I'm going to lean more into this, right? I know that people like when I do live videos, and I don't have a problem being on camera. I don't have a problem talking. Being a teacher for many years puts you on a stage every single day. Um, Kids boo. Sometimes they throw things. Very rarely do they cheer you on, but you get used to it. You just keep showing up, right? Um, that being said, I'm like, man, I gotta do more live videos. And I'm like, then that means I gotta get dressed. Now I gotta do something with my hair, right? But the past 2 videos, I just showed up how I showed up. I had my hoodie on and everything, but I went outside today, so I'm a little, I'm dressed. But I know that. I know that because I did that on Instagram. Like, when COVID hit, I was going live every day. Literally every day, people was DMing, "What time you going live today?" And I had hundreds of people on my live every day, just talking about everything, right? And from that is really how I build the foundation of um, this new wave of my business, right? I know that people enjoy my commentary. So that's why I write the things that I write. I write cultural commentary on different things, right? Like, I wrote about Kendrick Lamar. I wrote about Alex Fermazzi. Like, I'm sharing my opinion. I know that the people who follow me value that. So that's why I do it. If nobody was reading it, if, people who read didn't convert to followers, if it was crickets, every time I posted something, I might switch and do something different. The reason why you got to post and put stuff out there to see what catches on. Not everything that you come up with is going to be a hit. I know that's hurtful because I think I'm pretty amazing, right? And I'll put out something like, man, I like that. What's wrong with them, right? But they didn't like it. I wasn't. It didn't resonate with them, and that's okay. And everything won't, right? Like, when I first and some people have been here for a while. I think Renee's been been following me now like 5, 6 years. We met in like 2020, I think. But I'm 10 years in on this content thing. When I first started, I was a teacher. I was a mom of a younger person. Uh, I was, single, living in the Bay Area, and those are things that I talked about. And then my life shifted, and I was no longer a teacher. So then a lot of the teacher people that were following me were like, not my content, gotta go. And that's cool too, right? Or I stopped posting about my son as much. Like, I had a whole blog dedicated to parenting. And then I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And I did. And I let that blog go. And a lot of people that followed me for that reason left. You can't be afraid of losing people. I posted the other day on notes like, every time I send an email, I lose a few followers or a few subscribers. Thank God. Like, I don't want to hold you hostage to being here. This is not jail. You can leave when you want, anytime that you want. Right? Don't feel like you're doing me any favors. And I think as creative people, we feel like our gift and our talent, we really can't explain it. It's so mysterious, right? That we kind of feel like we're doing people a favor by sharing it, right? Or they're doing us a favor by viewing it or consuming it, right? Because it's so personal to us and we're not sure how to describe it, that when people are like, "Oh, I'm interested in that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for viewing my post." And we like have this humility, um, this exaggerated humility that we don't necessarily need to have. You do something well, okay? You should believe that you do it well. You should believe that other people seeing it are going to think that you have done this really well, right? And because of that, however you want to receive from that, you are deserving of that, right? You are. I have people you know, who do art and they are constantly comparing themselves to other people's art. There's this very viral video, post, picture, something that's going around about, and I'm gonna mess it up. It's either a man that's autistic or blind or something, but he went on like on a plane ride and then he was able to recreate like the New York skyline by memory or whatever. And I have artist friends who are like, "Oh, I wish I could do that." Okay, but what can you do? Right? Like, okay, that's not your lane, but what is your lane? If you paint on, lined paper, right, with your fingernails or whatever, somebody might be into that. But you won't ever know because you're too scared to post it. You're too scared to say, call out, I am an artist and I do sell this work. Like, people are into everything. If anything, if I have learned anything from Gen Z, There's an audience for everybody, right? So don't start off by devaluing yourself. Make stuff, put out stuff, get the data, get the feedback, and use that to figure out your next stuff that you're gonna make. And once you figure out what's gonna be your lane, like, hey, I'm gonna post notes. I'm gonna, you know, only do like a monthly kind of newsletter type post, but I'm gonna be in the notes, and that's what I'm gonna do, right? I made that decision on Instagram. I'll mostly post on stories because that's where I get the most engagement. I make a post, maybe four people like it, right? But I got like 4,000 people on my Instagram, and in my stories, I get like 300 to 400 views a day. People are viewing, people are responding. Okay, we in the stories, right? Once you figure out where you're getting your most traction, lean into that, and then you start to build a system. Then you start to make a schedule, right? You were posting to get that visibility. Maybe you're posting 20 times a day. Now you're like, I don't need to post 20 times a day because I know that out of those 20 times I posted, I got the most engagement between 3 and 6 p.m. Instagram will calculate that for you. You know, you get your like um, Instagram weekly insights or whatever. On Substack, you might have to figure it out that you're, oh, I'm not really sure how the analytics work specifically on Substack. But okay, I know that my people, when people start responding, I post at 8 a.m., but people don't start responding till like 3 to 6. So I'm gonna post 3 to 6 p.m. You might have people who are early birds, especially like when I was a life coach. I was up at 5 a.m. I started posting at 6 a.m. because the people I want to work with, we up at 6 a.m. I used to have a Monday morning call at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're on the call, right? We're getting motivated before you start your day. So I was posting at 6 and 7 a.m. I don't do that anymore, right? So I don't need to post as early, but I'm still up early. I post in the morning, right? Because a lot of people who follow me are on the East Coast, so they're an hour ahead. So if I start posting at 8, they're at 9, they probably already started their workday, right? So I'm getting up and I'm following that. Or, right, I don't post a lot in the midday, I post in the evening because the people who are consuming my content, they're not just scrolling, they're stopping, they're reading, they're highlighting, they're responding, etc. And they may need to do that after work. Or maybe they were the kind of employee that I was and they were on their phone all day at work. I don't know. But the majority is either morning or evening for me. Once you figure it out, then you start to build out your content calendar. Then you start to build out your system. Does your audience disappear on the weekends? Then you don't need to post on the weekends, right? You need to post, figure out, figure out that schedule of when they are engaged with you and build your system and schedule around that. Figure out the posts that they want to see from you and then build your system and engagement on that. If you are creating content, and I'm gonna say too, like start with what you have. Don't go out and buy nothing. You don't need a green screen. You don't need a DSLR camera. You don't need any special lighting. Like this is just my room light. Although I do have I have a ring light. I have like I do have a tripod for this, but I ain't nothing wrong with holding your phone and making videos. Your content does not have to be as polished as you think it needs to be. If you're someone who's actually creating something physical, and Renee, if you're still here, I'm gonna call you out because Renee used to do this and she doesn't do it anymore. But she makes these wonderful portals, right? And she used to do this thing where she would show her process. Like she would gather all these stickers and then she would show you like, hey, these are stickers I'm working with this week, and here's my progress on my portal, and now here it is, and here's my tarot spread, and yada yada yada. Just set up a camera anywhere. You can lean this camera on your door handle, you can get a water bottle and lean it up against, you don't need a tripod, and just record your process. I did that, the other day I was working on something. I was adjusting like a template I made in Canva, and I just recorded myself. And then I just put some random instrumental music over it and I posted that. But people want to see your process, right? So if you make art, like take us to what's the store? Blick with you as you're picking out your paint. You don't have to do all these crazy transitions and voiceovers and stuff. Just be like, hey, follow me today as I go pick out my art. Take a photo. Here are the colors that I'm thinking about. Pick one. Show a little video of you in the store. Here's the canvases that I use, whatever it is, right? And show your process of what that looks like. and then post that as content. Because once people start to tap into the journey, they feel like it's their journey too, right? So if you're working on something, if you have a goal, like if you make clothes, you're like, oh my gosh, next year this time I want to be at New York Fashion Week. Start making something. Show yourself sewing. Here's what I would have wore to Fashion Week this year. Here's my front row outfit. Here's how I size it. Here's the cut, the pattern, all that stuff, right? Do all that stuff and make that, then show the finished product. Then ask for people to weigh in, right? These are small things that seem like nothing, but what people want in real life and online is connection. So, any way that you can share yourself, your process, and connect to people, you got people locked in with you, right? People are asking me all the time, Brandy, what are you working on? Tell me about your new program, right? I used to post books a lot. People, what are you reading? Right? People still remember I used to post, I was in this mindset of like, I'm reading a new book every week. And for like 2 years, I posted a new book every week. And then through that, I started making reading lists for people. I started a paid book club. I started facilitating book clubs. I started making book guides and outlines, right? And I got paid for all of that, right? You got to create the content so that people know what they can expect from you. Then you got to keep showing up so you can become reliable. And then you start getting paid from what you can provide. If you tell me you're an artist and I've only seen one painting, then maybe, 3 months from now, because you only posted that one painting on Substack back in June, and now it's Christmas time, and you're like, I'm open for commissions. Hell, I don't know that what have you painted besides that? Do you do portraits? Do you paint in color? Like, what do you do? Right? You got to be showing people. And I would say, if you do have any kind of product business, now is the best time for you to start because I don't know. I went to Costco the other day. The Christmas trees are out. So people are going to start shopping already for Christmas, right? Nobody's waiting till Black Friday. You could run a Christmas special right now. I'm so serious, right? So you're building the content, you're taking the data, you're becoming reliable, you're posting for visibility, you're collecting the data, you're getting the information, and you're not just utilizing this as information, you're getting to know the audience and the community that you're building. And then once you know who these people are, right? This is called psychographics. You know who they are, how they respond, right? The time of day they're going to be online, how many times they content to make it, what kind of information they need. Then you start to present your offerings, right? The things that you are wanting to sell. And if you're like, well, I just have an opinion, I just write, I'm not selling anything, that's when you start charging for your subscription, right? Now people like what you're writing, right? If they want to keep seeing your writing, now they can pay for it, right? No? Are y'all here? Am I talking to myself? Right? Or you're like, well, I don't really know. There's so many ways. I posted the other day on notes, like, here are ways that you can get paid by educating people, right? You're gonna teach people something, right? If you're a writer, teach people how to write. I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, I just can't do everything. I was like, I should make a post like 10 writing tips that you can't get from Chat GPT. Because y'all think these Chat GPT writings sound good and they don't. I'm a former English teacher. It's not good, right? 10 writing tips you can't get from Chat GPT. I would post that and sell it for $1 right now, right? So you're educating people. Teach people how to do something that you know how to do. I talked about that the other day in terms of like how to build content where I talked about recording yourself, explaining how to do something, and then catching the gaps, and then really building out a firm kind of outline of what it is that you can show people how to do, right? You can do, you can do, like adult education programs, and they have them in every city. Your public library, you can teach a class to seniors. or millennials how to start a Substack. That's something that you know how to do because everybody that's listening to me right now has already done it. You take this for granted because you sat in front of your computer or you downloaded the app and you figured it out in 5 minutes. Not everybody can do that. Teach them how to do that, right? So education is one. Entertainment, right? Especially if you're in the arts, you do any kind of performance, you're an actor, whatever, like get online and entertain people. That doesn't mean you have to do all these weird TikTok dances or embarrass yourself. If you can't dance, don't get online and dance if you're going to be mad that people are laughing at you dancing. But there are other ways to be entertaining, right? Entertainment does not necessarily mean comedian or humor. Do something cool. Like if I could juggle, why not juggle, right? Um, whatever you can do, right? Like education, um, entertainment, what's the other word? Influence, right? Um, maybe you are just a person that's like, people listen to me. People already know and trust me. I've been on the internet for years. People know and trust me. I can influence. I can direct people. This is where you can make good money because you could be an affiliate market, right? I just got approved as an LTK creator. So I'm going to be sharing things that I buy that I wear and influence other people to buy it too. And then I get a commission from it, right? Maybe you have some of your friends who have a business and you're like, I want to, I'm going to start with them because that's what I did when I started my podcast. I didn't really have, like, I wanted to get sponsors and I was doing like all these sponsorship proposals and stuff. I wasn't getting anybody. I was like, my friends have businesses. Maybe they would invest in me. And they did. Because when I first started my podcast, every guest got a guest gift box. And so my friends put their stuff in it, their music, their books. I had nail polish. Um, I I, you know, put my own money up to get t-shirts that I sent to people. And it was a hit. And then that next season of my podcast, I had actual sponsors, like not my friends, actual sponsors that paid me money. It's like, let me get 30 seconds on your podcast, right? Influence, right? What do I currently use? What do I currently do that I can amplify and share? Whether it's you going to your local parks and recs, you got a coffee shop that you like, whatever, you can influence and you can get paid that way. Education, entertainment, influence. The other part is curating. Maybe you're like, well, I'm not really good at anything, but I know some people, right? I could put some stuff together. Host things, right? I was a host. During COVID, I hosted a lot of panels and retreats and many webinars and things like that online where I wasn't necessarily talking. I invited other people who could teach things, who could talk about certain topics, and I put it on my platform and I charged for it and I made money from other people doing the work. A lot of people have a networking mixer, have an online something. If you're a writer, do you know a lot of writers? Have a writing co-working session online. Charge $5 for it. Have a virtual coffee. Charge $5 for it, right? You got to pay for Zoom if it's more than 30 minutes. Factor that in. So, like, hey, you're paying for the access to the Zoom because now I got the subscription says it's 1 hour and I might make $20 from it. Money. I want you also to know before I get into the fifth way that a lot of people who say they're making money online are not actually making a lot of money, right? People are like, oh yeah, Meta sent me a check. They got 1 million views on a video and they get $20 from Meta/Facebook, right? The highest paying social media platform is YouTube. But you gotta have, you have to have a certain number of followers or certain qualifications, right? So yeah, people are getting paid, but it's not a lot. How you get paid a lot is you either have a high ticket offer that you sell to a like niche group of people. You have a low ticket offer that you sell to a lot of people, or you have something low, medium, or high that you are able to sell over and over again, right? So if you're trying to be that curator, think of something easy that you could put together that you can do over and over again. Every Monday night, Bible study, right? Every Thursday night football watch party. And it's just you, kind of like a Twitch situation where people get to watch the thing with you, um, and get your commentary, right? Somebody keep me in track. What did I say before? Was education, entertainment, influence, curation. Is that it? I said it was five. I'm tripping. I don't remember the fifth one. But there are different ways to get paid, right? I would say master one first and then do them because I have done all of them in one way, shape, or form. Oh, the other one is like creating products. Five is products. You can create a physical product, a digital product, and you don't have to use ChatGPT to do it. I hosted a webinar for nonprofits. I recorded myself um, on Canva. That link lives on Canva. I posted on my website for a price. And that one webinar that I did at one time, I'm just going to keep looping that on my LinkedIn and people can buy it and download it as they wish. I created, when I was still teaching, I created, in 2020, when people started to care about DEI, I made a list of culturally relevant resources and texts for teachers. I offered it on Gumroad because Gumroad does not charge a startup fee. They take a percentage out of what you sell. I put it on Gumroad as a pay what you want. Within the first 30 days, I had made $2,000. In fact, maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, um, it's still there from 2020. Somebody else bought it for like they paid $15 for it, right? I make probably like anywhere from $100 to $150 a month on that resource that I don't really promote. It's part of my link tree that's in the bio of my Instagram. If anybody goes to different sites and scrolls back through my social media, they'll see it, but I don't promote it. And, I get money from that. That's a digital product that I made 5 years ago that I'm still getting paid from, right? I ain't had Chat GPT. I had Canva though. I had Canva, right? But I made it and people buy it. You can have a physical product. I've created actual journals, right? That ended up getting sold. And you can sell them anywhere. You can go create something on Amazon right now and create, drop shipping and create a journal and sell it on Amazon. But you got to be marketing, right? There are people who tell you like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to teach you how to make $10,000 a month as a content creator." And they're gonna tell you, "Oh, do this. Go to GPT, type in these prompts, do this, go to Canva, make a thing, and then post it." You got to market that thing, right? And what I am telling you as a creative, and what I've been talking about this whole life, it's almost been an hour now. So I'm gonna go lay down. Um, is that you gotta market yourself and not be afraid to market yourself, and to do so with confidence, right? You are exactly who you think you are. And if you think you're not all that, you're gonna come on the internet, like you're not all that, and I'm gonna scroll right past. I am, for real. And then you're gonna say, nobody's subscribing to me. Nobody wants to buy my art. No, you don't even want to sell your art. Why would I want to buy it? That sounds like a violation, right? All that being said, I have, done this for a while. I've done it on different platforms and different topics. This is my full-time thing. And I'm not gonna lie to you and say, "Oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm just rich off of content." I make a living from what I do. And to me, as a creative, to be able to make a living off of things that first popped up in my mind and that I was able to actually like manifest in real life is amazing to me because for so long I didn't think that was possible. Like I would get these creative spurts and I've been an on again, off again entrepreneur, and then I would be like, I need a job, right? And run back to that job and be miserable and wake up every day like mad at the world and just in the back of my mind, like I want to do the thing that I know I should be doing and I want to be able to make money from it. And I figured it out, right? I figured it out. I have cracked the code, y'all, on how to do it and how to do it in a way that's authentic without copying anybody else, without, relying on ChatGPT without lying to the internet or trying to hustle people and like, scamming people or anything like that. I can make the art. I can um, do the thing that I want to do. I can share my gift and get money from it. And so that's my mission right now. Like I'm literally on a mission. I, I prayed about this a couple weeks ago when I started the month of September. I was like, I don't feel like I'm fully operating in my gift. And I really just want to be able to help the people like me who are trying to figure out, like me who thought, okay, I need to be dancing on TikTok. I got to sell my soul. I got to, do something strange for this little piece of change if I want to make money on the internet. And that's not the case, right? So I sat down, I pulled from a lot of the different programs and ebooks and stuff that I have taught over the years because I've never really done a program. I've done courses here, webinars here, ebooks here. And what I found, even in doing like one-on-one coaching, the missing link in the things that I have offered is really the number one thing that I'm known for is community. I build community, but I have never built a community around teaching people um, how to make a living as a creator. I have coached people one on one on how to do it, but I think what's missing from that is you don't get the support, the respect, and the wealth of experience from your peers. I have delivered this information, or at least part of this information, in an ebook. What happens with the ebook is people buy it, they download it, and say, okay, I'm going to read that later. And some people read it and then they don't do anything, right? I never want to sell somebody something that they're not going to use. So if I'm offering something and it's not for you, it's not for you. Like some people feel like, what I said earlier, well, she's a creative, she's probably out there struggling. Let me just buy it to support her. Don't support me. I'm trying to support you. Like I'm trying to give you this information so you can make a living as a creative. And maybe you don't want to do this full time and that's fine. But you can be making money instead of just posting and being mad that nobody's seeing it. Maybe you don't want to make money. You're like, money is the devil, Brandy. Keep it away from me. But I do want people to read my Substack, right? Maybe you're like, I I just want to, put stuff out for the love of doing it, but I'm still afraid to share it. I want to help you build confidence. I want to break that wall down of where you feel like you're not worth my computer just did something. Where you just feel like you're not worthy and, I want to help you be able to show up as yourself, right? And so my program, which you have probably heard about, or maybe not, right? Because everybody don't see everything that you post. Remember, I said that. My signature brand program is really that, right? It's helping you uh, build a sturdier foundation for your personal brand. Whether you are trying to make a living from your creative art, or you just want to be more confident in who you are, you really want to understand like your, your identity and your makeup and how you can show up confidently online and elsewhere. Maybe you're like, I'm on Substack writing as a hobby, but I really want to level up in my professional career. Like, I want to walk in the room and feel confident. I want to be that girl, that guy. I want to really have an understanding of my unique value and how I can help and support people out in the world. That's what the signature brand is about. And we're going to go through brand identity. We're going to talk about brand messaging. We're going to talk about online and offline activities and what that looks like for you. We're going to go through visual identity. We're going to talk about strategy for sharing your unique value and your gift in the world. And you're going to have all of the tools and resources that I have used over the years in order to do so. Like I'm a former teacher, so it's not one of the other programs. There's the actual curriculum. Right. I got modules set up. You got video content. There's a textbook that I created that you'll get sent in the mail. Right. This is a real thing because I realized when you approach things casually, you get casual and mixed results. I want you to let me take that. I want you to approach your creative life in a professional manner. because when you show up as a professional, you get professional results. I don't want you showing up day by day, taking it by chance, like, "Oh, put my art in the world and somebody's gonna find it and, now I'm Basquiat." I want you to take yourself seriously as a brand. And so that's what this program is. I would hope, I think out of the people who subscribe to me, I feel like this is in alignment with what I've been seeing, what I've been hearing from you all, how I have been engaging with you all. This is something that's needed. And it's the urgency of now. I learned very quickly and very recently, like, jobs aren't stable, right? I can't depend on job income. I can't depend on other people to provide for me. Like, I have something that could be provided for me and I'm sitting on it because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just apply for a job and see what they say. Knowing I'm gonna go and hate that job. Right? Like, you could be making a way for yourself. And again, I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, oh, get in my program, you're gonna start having $10,000 months. I don't know. You might have $20,000 months. You might have $50 months. I don't know what the end result is gonna be, but I don't know what the end result is gonna be, and I don't know how quickly it's going to come to you. But I do know that this system is a proven system because it has not only worked for me, it has worked for people that I have done one-on-one coaching with. Parts of this program have worked for people I have done one-on-one coaching with. And I've put some of the testimonials on the website, and I put some of the testimonials. Um, I've been kind of sharing them in my stories. I'm gonna put the link here now, so y'all could check it out in terms of what I have been able to accomplish with folks. But if y'all have questions for me, put them in the chat. Because I could keep talking forever. And if this link doesn't work, it's because Substack is a hater. Yeah, it might work. So there was a question earlier about how many times somebody said, how many times a day do I post on threads? Right now, I would say I post it anywhere from like 12 to 30 times a day. Um, Threads is like old school Twitter, right? It moves fast. So you can spread out your posts, but you need to be posting a lot because by the time people scroll, it's gone. The most that it will refresh is like within the last 3 hours. So if I scroll and somebody that I follow, I haven't seen their post from 2 hours ago, it'll pop up. But over 3 hours, I'm likely not going to see it. I needed to hear to keep going because I hate feeling annoying. Yes, you're not annoying. Post more. Helpful pep talk. Thank you. Hi, it's me. I just want to make my art. Yes, yes. Make your art, but share your art. That's what we're doing. Make your art and share it art. Okay, any questions? I can't see anything else. Okay, cool. So yeah, if y'all don't have any questions, I'm gonna head out. Thank you for being here. I'll figure out how to post this or post parts of this, but I would love to have people inside of my program who are, I don't want to say ready, who want to start taking themselves more seriously and learn how to, um, yeah, take themselves more seriously and learn how to so that you can start making money from your art. If you have questions, send me a DM, and if I don't DM you first, but you can go to this page and check out the program. I do want to say too, if you put this code, um, put the code DM, you can get a discount. There are payment plans available. Like I kind of have an embedded payment plan, but if you put the code DM, you can get $300 off. And if you do a payment plan, you'll get $300 off kind of that first payment, or you get $300 off the whole thing. Now this goes away tomorrow night, so you want to jump on it if you want to get in the program. But also, if you want to do utilize Apple Pay, not Apple Pay, Afterpay or Klarna, you can sign up for that too. I don't ever want people to feel like you don't have options, but if none of those options work for you and you're like, I feel like I still need to be in this program, you can talk to me. I'm a real person, I'm not AI generated. Talk to me. So you can use that code. If you have any questions that come up, I'd be happy to answer them. But I'll probably go live again tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll talk more about, well, you guys tell me what you want me to talk about. I could talk more about content. I could talk more about systems. I can talk about like pricing your creative art, stuff like that. So y'all let me know what you want me to talk about. You can let me know in the chat and I'll start making myself some notes tonight. Are y'all still here? Yeah, I wish this was like Instagram because I can't see if people are here or not. So maybe y'all not. And it just ended. Yeah. Can use code DM for your discount. Okay,